And kind of, what are you pretty positive in the locker room, trying to encourage everybody? Kind of, what's your mindset now as you try to not overcome a 3-10 deficit?
I mean, we ain't got nothing else to do. That's the only. We can't do nothing but be positive at this point. We can't be negative. So try to get one win at a time.
Where do you think the offense dried up the last 5 minutes?
We had good looks. We had a couple good looks. Missed them. The ball got stuck a couple times in my hands. Got to get off of it a little bit more, but yeah, we'll be all right.
And what is it about you that doesn't see a sky is falling when the sky appears to be falling?
I never think the sky is falling. I don't know. I'm always positive, always happy. Been through the worst, so the sky's never falling for me.
Mike and Kyle, you guys got some offensive rhythm going together in that kind of two-man game in the fourth quarter. What was working there that can kind of extend over to game 4?
Y'all can hear me? I thought we were just playing with a good pace. Like, the ball wasn't sticky. Kind of playing with that 0.5 mentality where, 2 dribbles, get off it, hit the pocket, that guy makes a play. Normally it was Kyle. Finding guys and just moving without the ball. When we play that way, we're a tough team to kind of gauge where to be at, where to load up on, who to load up on. So if we can move the ball like that, continue to have that continuity on offense, I think it'll allow our offense just to have a little bit more effectiveness, especially late game and when we're pressing for buckets.
Kyle, it seems tonight if you guys forced the ball out of Kyrie or Luka's hands, other guys were hitting shots early in the game, and then if you guard them straight up, they were hitting shots late. Just how tough has it been to defend these guys, especially in this game?
Yeah, those two are obviously really good shot makers, and when you get Derek Jones and PJ Washington and a lot of those other guys playing as well as they did, they're tough to beat. So just got to figure out a way to slow both of them down, and Luka and Kyrie, and as well as those other guys too. They can't all play well like that. We have to pick and choose, and that's what we're going to do game 4.
Yeah, the dunk you had in the third quarter, did you feel at that time it maybe kind of galvanized the team a little bit? It seemed like it gave you guys a real shot in the arm at that time with the way you were able to tie the game at the end of the third.
I mean, hell yeah, I hope it did, or at least I tried.
Like, schematically, the Dallas' defense has been really good for the last 2.5 months. Like, the way you're talking about playing, like getting up the ball, just moving it, is that the best way to kind of render the way teams load up moot almost?
I think so. I think that you play into their hands when you hold the ball, when you dribble out the clock. You're fighting against the shot clock. I thought that was the issue we had a little bit tonight, where we were looking up and we had 10, 11 seconds on the clock, and at that point you have to force something instead of just being in action early, playing with a little bit more force going downhill and making plays, which we're capable of doing. And like I said, the last couple games we're more than capable of making these adjustments and making these reads, and we got to want to do it. We got to want to do it every single time against a defense like this, who's very long, athletic, smart, and calculated in what they do.
We've seen
when you lose 3 games, like in very close fashion like this, as a veteran, can that seep into the minds of a young team when it gets down to 4 minutes left and it's a close game and you don't have the positive reinforcement that we can beat this team when the game gets close? Do you see that?
I could say it'd be the opposite. If you were winning those games, you would feel confident when you look up and you look, 4 minutes left and you've been winning the games, you're going to think positive thoughts. I think I can't speak for every person, but I'm sure we're looking up and say, how are we going to win this one? How we got to figure it out. This is a moment of the game where we got to be tight and together and figure it out. Obviously, it's on our minds because for the majority of this series, I felt like we've given ourselves a chance. We've given ourselves leads. We've given ourselves opportunities, and we know what part of the game we need to be better at. And the part that's going to win us the game is going to be that fourth quarter.
For the three of you, especially, I think in the first half, maybe you're struggling maybe to score the ball a little bit, and I felt like Kat was especially more aggressive, and Ant, you were especially facilitating the ball around. Was there something you could take away from that third quarter for your offensive rhythm, or just what was working there?
No, I don't think I was on the court, so it might be for y'all too. But no, just getting into our actions and getting good shots. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we would like to too. But in that spurt, I think we were doing a good job of getting into our actions, playing with pace. We obviously could play with a little more pace, but we were getting the shots we like. We just got to convert. Yeah. That's just what it comes down to. Sometimes the NBA game comes down to making or missing shots, and we just got to make more shots and still work hard to get good shots. You know what I'm saying?
When you guys were in your two-man game and you're doing a lot of respacing, is it harder to respace when they're filling gaps and being a little bit tenser up there, or is it easier to respace, or is it just a different way?
Even when we was respacing and we was getting to our spots, we just wasn't knocking the shots down. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to be in the gaps even more the more we miss. We didn't shoot the ball well from three tonight at all. Yeah, I didn't make one. Nobody shot well but Jaden and Mike from three. And, and if we keep shooting like that, then they just going to keep being in the gap. So no matter how we respace and get back out to the three-point line, if we don't knock them down, they're going to sit in the gaps all night.
And what in that box score stands out to you? See?
31 to 17. They had 31 free throws. We had 17.
Do you think the physicality that was emphasized in the second half of the season, they seemed like the refs were allowing you guys to play a little more hands, a little more with the body? There was foul trouble. I think you guys won a penalty with maybe 8 minutes. Is it inconsistency, Mike? You were in foul trouble. What did you see? How did you see? I won't say the game being called. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but did you feel it being a little different tonight?
Man, you trying, ain't you?
I promise I'm not.
No, honestly, a lot of my fouls were fouls, I thought. But it's about consistency on both ends. Yeah. Yes, that's all we asked for at the end of the day. If I foul, I foul the jump shooter. I've done it 2 or 3 times this series.
Don't call the hands on when Mike fouled and just call it down there.
That's all we asked for. That's just consistency. Yeah. And if
they
we
did
get
a great job tonight. We just asked for the same calls down there.
Yep.
And it's not unusual for teams have been throwing a lot of defensive attention at you all season, and especially in these playoffs. Why has this series has that proven more difficult to overcome?
Like I said, I mean, we're not knocking the shot. Like, we've been knocking the shots down all the whole playoffs. Denver series, the Phoenix series, we was making all the shots. So it's harder to, do what you do when we knocking them down. But when we're not knocking them down, it's easier to crowd the paint. I was getting to the rim today, and it was just like 4 people in there, So they make it tough, man. They did a great job. Shout out to them.
Do you feel like you had the same burst in the fourth that you did in the third?
Yeah.
What do you guys have to do to get Carl going offensively in game 4?
I think Cat gotta just do a better job of getting back to maybe his old self, finding himself around the basket more, rim running, taking advantage of mismatches. He's obviously a really good player and he's big time for us. So, we need him to get going. So it's our job to, put him in the right position. And then the threes will fall. Yeah. But I think if he gets back to rim running or catching the ball on the block and, taking his time and going to finish, they got nothing for him. So, you just got to put him in the right, situations.
About Ant's leadership. Seemed really vocal after in the locker room, but what does that say about him that he's trying to get you guys up?
No, it says a lot. He's a guy that not only is trying to get guys going, keeping guys positive, but he'll be on himself, be the first one to say, he didn't have it or didn't bring it or didn't, should have did this better, that better. So he's holding himself accountable. It's something all of us can look up to and look at ourselves in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable. To have him do that at 22 years old is impressive. And, we wouldn't be in this position right now without that kind of leadership.
Thanks, guys.